Lester, if the people could see you now, exquisitely put together. The fragrance that I'm getting is taking me to a place that English words cannot describe. I gotta talk to the friends. You hold tight. Friends, welcome. You know what it is. Do I have to say it? I don't, but I will. Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's Good Junk 20th Anniversary Extravaganza Spectacular. No more talking. Theme song starts now.
What the hell is this?
I speak jive.
Will you stop?
As God is my witness, I thought turkeys could fly.
They think they got the answers. I change the questions.
You don't like it? We don't care.
What a dumb thing to do. I bet you wouldn't have done anything like this if Mom and Dad were here.
The recognized symbol of excellence in
Dramatic comedy. Ladies and gentlemen, we are once again at that moment in time where we cherish what it is to be alive and know that there is a man known as Colin from Canada who produces videos that cannot compare to anything else on YouTube. Getting to my point, the Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's Good Junk 20th Anniversary Extravaganza Spectacular. Settle in, get comfy. It's gonna be an extra special episode. As you know, no expense was spared. We got happy anniversary this time, not I Love Mermaids, which I can put up if you want, guys. If you ask me nicely, I'll put it up. The two balloons and I was looking for tinsel like we had last week, but I got these things. Okay, so you see what they look like. Let me show you what the package says they're supposed to look like. I'd say I nailed it. Lester? Let me hear it. That's how we do it. Not one large Diet Coke, not two large Diet Cokes, not a can. That's it, we have to. And not a large coffee. We have, that's it. We have some leftover carrot cake that I'm going to eat with a wooden spoon. And let me tell you, nothing brings out the flavor of food like wooden utensils. Okay, that is leftover Father's Day cake from the John Riddell Living Legend Happy Father's Day celebration. That Diet Coke was about to spill over. I had to save it. I'm talking while eating. How rude of me. And I'm back. I looked for the champagne flute that we used in the 10th anniversary episode, but I have no idea where the hell I put them. So we are gonna have to go with Dr. Zeus and even higher. You can't even see how high I'm going, guys, because it's out of the frame. That was higher than last week. We're up there. Arm fully extended. And let me just tidy up my desk, my work area here. Let's get the lid on this, because you know what has to occur. What did we christen last week? The ceremonial first sip. Yes, okay. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. It is the 20th anniversary Extravaganza Spectacular. Good coffee's always free. The pen is taped. The AmCan connection always in your mind and your heart. Single greatest tag team walking the earth today. Trailer Park Boys Countdown to Liquor Day. That, I believe, is the second full-length motion picture by the Trailer Park Boys. I think I covered everything. The caffeine is ready to be taken in orally, and I will get even more hyper. But let me just say, I have a gift over here from my man Lester. That's right. He got this for the 20th anniversary, and I have to get my bearings straight here because this is what he's purchased. Now, I have an enormous cranium, but I think that looks pretty good. He has crowned me, after 20 episodes, the king of YouTube. Guys, I assure you, all of this is real. And, excuse me, not yet, haven't belched yet. Don't say excuse me if you haven't belched. There it is, excuse me. One thing I haven't mentioned regarding today's episode that I'm sure is pressing on your minds and your heart, perhaps you're worried that I may have forgotten one key aspect of the anniversary programs here on Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's Good Junk. Well, I'll tell you right now, I haven't. The thing you're thinking that I'm gonna forget are, of course, the montages. I have not forgotten. Ladies and gentlemen, there will be 3 separate sets of montages covering episodes 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, sprinkled throughout the episode. Look for those. Now we can push forward.
Hey, this is Gary Busey. Congratulations to happy birthday. It's gonna be forever because that's the way you planned it and that's the power you have to do it. Happy birthday, congratulations. How many of you have wooden legs? Keep up the good work. The reason there's noise here is that I'm on a balcony in the streets of New York City. See? I'm not kidding. Congratulations, you guys, and thanks for allowing me to do this message for you because I love you. Hey, keep it up.
We are literally an intro and a welcome into this extravaganza, and I immediately don't want to wear this crown anymore because it looks ridiculous. So if it looks ridiculous, you know what that means. I'm wearing it for the entirety of the program. I got 5 VHS sitting right over here. I'm gonna read every single one of them because it's a special episode today. Lester, Bumper, Power Karate, Hunks with Hats, Tai Chi for Arthritis, Stretching to the Classics. And just to show you how enormous my cranium is and how little supplies I have here at the studio to produce this magic, we have hockey tape to extend the circumference of the crown because the regular settings did not fit my head, and for crying out loud, it still doesn't fit my head. We're gonna push forward. We're gonna push forward, and you know what time it is. It's 5 from the collection. Guys, do you remember Hollywood Squares and Shadow Stevenson? At one time, the center square in the 1987 remake of Hollywood Squares, and then I believe Joan Rivers took over the middle square, also with the attractive Priscilla Barnes, as you know, from Three's Company. That's right. Tracks, 85 minutes from 1988. Should I read it? Let's read them all today. You know why? Because it's the Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's 20th anniversary Good Junk extravaganza spectacular. Good Junk is supposed to come before 20th anniversary, but you get what I'm saying. Trax is a mercenary ex-cop who knows nothing about the law, but everything about justice. He's tried El Salvador, Lebanon, Afghanistan, but something keeps drawing him home. The smell of fresh baked cookies. Trax dreams of starting his own cookie. Whoa. Put on the brakes. If you're hydroplaning, you have to take your foot off the accelerator. Do not jam on the brakes. We learned that in License to Drive 1987. Let me go back and do that again. Trax dreams of starting his own cookie business, but faces 2 problems. He can't raise the money, and he's the world's worst cookie baker. To raise the cash, he returns to the one thing he does know about: gang busting for fun and profit. Taking on Capone clone Aldo Palucci, almost single-handedly demolishing an empire built on drug running, murder, and prostitution. The cookies, on the other hand, aren't going so well. Guys, I almost didn't read that. And if you had have asked me before reading it, would I have, in any world, thought that it was about him and his dream of making his own cookies into a successful cookie business? I would have said no. Reform school girls. That's right, Sybil Danning and Wendy O. Williams, a female punk icon from the Plasmatics. I'll read this one too because it's the 20th anniversary. We're reading them all today, buddy. Enter Pridemore Juvenile Facility and you can look forward to a world without windows, without the possibility of escape, and without hope. A claustrophobic world bursting at the seams with pent-up aggression and caged terror. Jenny Williams, a young first-time offender, learns hard and fast that the rules of the outside world don't apply at this reform school. Warden Sutter, Sybil Danning, rules with an iron fist. Edna, Pat Asht, dictates sadistic order, and Charlie, Wendy O. Williams, the unofficial head of the cell block, preys on the weak. At Pridemore, even solitary is preferable to the beatings and sexual abuse that run rampant in the cell blocks. Do Jenny and her close-knit group of friends stand a chance in such brutal surroundings? Can they even hope to escape with their health and sanity? And will they live long enough to tell the horrible truth of Pridemore's atrocities? The answers lie in this action-packed conclusion of Reform School Girls. Color, running time 94 minutes, 1986, from New World Video. It's a bird, it's a plane, it's supersonic, man. Look up there in the sky. It's a bird, it's a plane. No, it's supersonic, man. Operating from an undersea empire, a madman seeks to rule the Earth by kidnapping the inventor of a laser death ray. Sensing a threat to peace and safety in the Milky Way, space aliens dispatch their own superpowered humanoid to rescue the scientist and protect his beautiful daughter. Guarding the girls is a full-time job for Supersonic Man, but by the end of the picture, he and she find time to fall in love. I am not making that up, but by the end of the picture, he and she find time to fall in love. This could be a different language converted to English, and the you know what I'm saying. The lighthearted romp through the outer fringes of science fiction owes a large debt to Superman and James Bond. Supersonic Man flies through the air, rescues the scientist, romances the daughter, and beats the bejeebers out of Mitchell's stooges without even working up a sweat. Fortunately, the film does not take itself very seriously. Instead, it offers thrills and laughter in equal doses, always entertaining royally. Now, I wouldn't say that this movie doesn't take itself seriously when you look at action shots like that on the back of the VHS cassette. Guys, that is Supersonic Man. That is 1989 Star Classics Limited. I think we're all young at heart, and I know that this lovely woman is as well. Let's all be young at heart and do some body conditioning with Estelle. Fitness video starring Estelle Getty. Estelle Getty, star of the hit TV comedy The Golden Girls, presents a complete body conditioning workout that's safe, effective, and so much fun you'll hardly know you're exercising. Created by professional trainer and fitness expert Raphael Pacard, of course it's a name that I can't pronounce, especially for those 55 or over. It's a gentle workout designed to boost overall health while improving muscle strength, bone density, flexibility, and balance. Featuring 4 levels of intensity from which to choose, the entire workout can even be done sitting down. With real results, from the easy warm-up to the refreshing body-toning workout to the relaxing cool-down, it's a workout with a sense of humor that's serious about helping you shape up. Start today, follow Estelle's routine regularly, and you'll soon have more energy. Find daily chores easier to do and feel remarkably young at heart. I kept this one till last because it baffles me. It baffles me to no end. Let's just take a look at first off, the movie's called Caught. Caught. Just the front of the video. Bestseller. Top Film Award, Excellence in Media. Not a lot of details there. And this guy is just, he's fallen near a Jeep. He could be under the influence. And these gentlemen, and his hair is just, let's get that. This guy, they're helping him. I'll read the back, you know I will. This is real. Tim Devon didn't find out until he was 18 that he was illegitimate. In a rage, using his high school graduation money, Tim leaves his LA home in search of his father with only a name and the city of Amsterdam as clues. Like so many young people who land in a foreign city with meager funds for support, he is reduced to thriving on the streets, finally becoming a pusher for a drug dealer, becoming hooked on drugs himself. He is encountered by a single caring person. They are strangers from different worlds, but a friendship forged out of danger and desperation links them together forever. I haven't heard of anybody in this movie. It's by Worldwide Pictures Home Video. I've never heard of that either. And did they spare no cost in the labeling? Yeah. Guys, that's Caught. Remember, it's a bestseller and it's a top film award winner from Excellence in Media. Friends, that was a bit of a long 5 VHS from the collection, but let me tell you, all these segments are going to be long today, including our new segment that I told you about last week, Men's Toes. Guys, that was 5 VHS from the pile. I hope you enjoyed.
Terry O'Quinn here, or John Locke. You can call me John. It doesn't matter. You can call me whatever you want, because it's your anniversary. Congratulations. Happy anniversary. From me, that's crazy. Tell him to tell me to come here and tell you happy anniversary. And, good times. So, anyway, happy anniversary. Here I am talking about me. Don't scare me. Be nice. All right. All the best. Congrats, you guys. Well done.
Friends, if I may take you back 3 to 4 hours ago when my producer Lester contacted me through my mobile device and was almost inconsolable. Unconsolable? Inconsolable. I couldn't console him. He was crying over the phone in an embarrassingly extravagant way over what the reason for his tears were, which I will be getting to. The wife, Cheryl, who we all know and love, again, could not attend the Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's Good Junk 20th Anniversary Extravaganza Spectacular. Cheryl, again, could not attend an anniversary filming, but I fully understand her job at the food barn. It takes its toll, and it's demanding. And I know the hours are just, they're a lot for her, and there's no in-between time. But through the magic of recorded audio and video, Lester, I think you know where I'm going, and you're right behind me, I can tell. Guys, we can see Cheryl in our living rooms and in our homes, and it will warm us much like a fire does.
You have no idea who knows me. I'm not the rancher. I got marbles here. I have 2 boobs, not 6. Do you know you have scratchy toilet paper? And I came to you when you were a senator. I guess I wasn't a big enough contributor. Me and my neighbors came to you at the Capitol. Now you finally have a governor that's got some balls. Let's let him use them.
Ladies and gentlemen, friends, guys, folks, I'm enjoying this carrot cake in between takes and somewhat bleeding over into actual takes of the show. You know, guys, we've gone to thrift stores and we've got a pretty decent haul and some good little things in here I think you're going to enjoy. So, without further ado, John Dote Hit. Dote Hit? John Dote Hit. John Doe Hit. Dote Hit. John DeHurt. Friends, you know how we do it. We wipe the mouth of carrot cake, and then we turn to the left. We're going to start with the CDs. I know I mentioned I don't buy them, but I'm starting to buy them. It's the CD single. This is, of course, the Chemical Brothers' Life is Sweet CD single. This label I recognize from last week's Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan label, and I just read it, Afro Celt Sound System. And the good thing about, volume 3, further in time. The good thing about CDs is when you're in the thrift store, you got the phone there, you got YouTube, and you know all this is going to be on YouTube. So you can take a listen before you buy. And I listened to this and I said, sign me up, Captain. Again, we saw the label. Again, this is Fatala Gongoma Times. Forgive me if I'm mispronouncing this and you are a fan of this artist or band and I'm butchering the name of him or her or them. But again, checked it out on YouTube and I was grooving in the thrift store, and for $1.49, I took the plunge. John Spencer, Blues Explosion. This is extra width. These are hard to find. They are kind of like, I would say Beck without the wrapping. Yeah. And I got a couple of them. John Spencer Blues Explosion. Now I got Worry. I believe, yeah, the John Spencer Blues Explosion. Experimental Remixes Extended Playing. And that is it for the John Spencer Blues Explosion. Willie Nelson and Wynton Marsalis. Two Men with the Blues. So you get the trumpet playing and the guitar playing in one. You can't go wrong with Willie Nelson. Mudhoney from Sub Pop. This is the grunge that I know and love so well, and they love it. They love it when you call it grunge. But you know Seattle, you know what I'm talking about. You cannot go wrong with the Seattle sound in any way possible, except maybe Screaming Trees. I'm not a huge fan of Screaming Trees. The Doobie Brothers, listen to the music, the very best of. Doobie Brothers, you know, the 70s rock, one of those groups, at least for me, I didn't know they sang, I didn't know that, and then next thing you know, every song you're like, I didn't know they sang that. So, Doobie Brothers, I have absolutely no idea what this is, but that's the title. Ryko presents Certificate 18. I'm gonna guess this is drum and bass. Okay, yes, okay. Since its first release back in 1992, Certificate 18 Records has established a worldwide reputation as the home of some of the freshest, most innovative artists in the drum and bass, electronica, and breakbeat scenes. Well, that's all you need to know to buy that. And this is the most unexpected find in a thrift store. Dennis Coffee. If people know right away who this is, you are watching the right YouTube video. Have you heard of Black Belt Jones, my friends? Have you heard of young phenom Jim Kelly? Yes, that Jim Kelly from Enter the Dragon wanted his own movie after the success of Enter the Dragon, and they let him star in Black Belt Jones. We will cover that at some point in the future, perhaps as a deep cut, deep dive. But it is a blaxploitation kung fu movie, and Jim Kelly sports the single greatest afro in the history of mankind. And Dennis Coffey did most of the theme music. I know he did the theme song for Black Belt Jones. That is going in the description. If you ever check out anything I tell you to, click on the MP3 of Black Belt Jones theme that I've put in the description and enjoy greatness. Going on to the VHS, only one, how to use your camcorder. I thought that would be a hoot. Your guide? I got carrot debris. Your guide to better camcorder videos. I won't read this one as it's probably boring, but how to use your camcorder. DVDs and one video game. I will explain why we have this. So, thrift store pickups include public library pickups. As you know, we got that big haul of video games. I am still periodically, sorry, that was a burp that raised my voice. I am still periodically going to the public libraries to look for video games, and I am not running into them. And the public libraries each have varying price systems. And I was in one where they had 10 items for $5. Do the quick math.
Do the math.
And you will find that that's 50 cents each, okay? I didn't find 10 items, but I did find some. Rogu Twisted Towers Wii game with instructions. American Dad Volume 6 sealed. American Dad Volume 4 sealed. American Dad Volume 5 sealed. Any Given Sunday, Boys on the Side, still sealed. Boys on the Side, I don't know. But I was trying to get to 10 really bad, and these were the only DVDs that didn't have the library, stickers all over them. I couldn't get to 10, but I still gave them $5 for that. Also, the piddly, we gotta think of another word instead of piddly. The minuscule amounts of garage sales around town are saddening to a young 12-year-old who has grown up to Colin from Canada, who used to frequent garage sales, and there was 30, if not 40 of them in the community. Now I only found one. And I'm about to sneeze. Mike and Molly complete series sealed. Would you take $5 for it? Yes, they would. Finishing up the thrift store pickups, you know we have the books. We're going to keep this guy for last because this was a great find. Nirvana, the recording sessions. This is a complete guide to where they were and what they recorded. Very cool for the Nirvana fan who doesn't have it. Cynthia Lennon, A Twist of Lennon. Cynthia Lennon, of course, was John Lennon's first wife and mother to Julian Lennon. This is one of those, I guess, tell-all books, but it's from 1978, and it was $1.49, and it's worth a little bit more than $1.49, so I picked it up. Die for Me. Do you like the serial killers and the weird psychopaths? The terrifying true story of Charles Ng and Leonard Lake. If you don't know Charles Ng and Leonard Lake, they were absolutely nuts. Won't go too deep into that because this is a family program, but they were cuckoo, and it's a serial killer book. Family Circus, great segue. The Family Circus is very keen. Of course, that's a play on words because, as we all know, the illustrator and author is Bill Keane. And this is color, folks. When you were a kid, the color really was a lot better than the paperback. Idiots at Work. This is just little blurbs and little stories about real idiots from work. I pick up books for John Riddell because he is an avid reader during the day as he's relaxing in the Riddell estate, and he has run out of books. So this will be one that I'm sure he will enjoy and probably read in a day or two, and then I'm forced to find more books for him. But we will both enjoy this one. My So-Called Life. Never seen the program, but I've heard good things about it. And it's one of those things where if you get the program and you enjoy it, then you'd probably want this book. It was $1.49. It does have a bit of value on eBay, a lot more than $1.49. It's in great condition, and who knows? I'll probably start watching My So-Called Life and be glad that I bought this book. Okay, last but not least, the final item in the thrift store haul is a book, and it is written by Gil Scott-Heron, and it is called The Vulture. For those of you who don't know who Gil Scott-Heron is, he coined the phrase, "The revolution will not be televised," and created a song of the same title. His other big song was Whitey's on the Moon. Poet, writer, I believe even actor, musician, and this is one of his books. And to my surprise, upon opening it, that I believe is a authentic Gil Scott-Heron autograph. I looked up examples on the internet and they look stunningly familiar to that. So a autographed copy of The Vulture by Gil Scott-Heron for $2.50. Sometimes it pays to open up the first couple of pages on a book because it could be signed. Guys, that was the thrift store pickups for Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's Good Junk 20th Anniversary Extravaganza Spectacular. I hope you enjoyed, as there are still bits of carrot cake dancing around my mouth.
Hey, happy anniversary. Big love, lots of love, but I'm a true believer that, God brings people together for a reason. God bless you both. Again, happy anniversary. I hope to see you soon on the set of Restaurant Impossible, and keep believing, keep giving.
Friends, it's time for me to angle my chair this way, the diagonal angle, to talk to my producer and friend, Lester. Lester, as you know, it's the moment in the show where we showcase your skills in the editing bay, and we show the first of 3 montages here on Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's Good Junk 20th Anniversary Extravaganza Spectacular. Running out of breath, continuing, pushing forward. It's episodes 11, 12, and 13, crumpled together in a lovely montage that I like to call a montage. The answer is crunchy. Episode 11. Fun facts, 11 is my favorite number. Don't know why, but it is. They spelt threat wrong, so it just says treat. So I will go again. Ooh, okay. No, I'm gonna stop here. Don't worry about it, Lester.
I put it in writing, notarized, certified that document. Where are they at?
Stretching for seniors. Rue McClanahan, dog care.
Your newscast came on at 10 o'clock, and within an hour, Steve had confessed to the crime.
Did you like that? Like, I'm talking, this is the shelf, this is his body. That's what it was.
2 weeks ago, I didn't like it what you did.
I'm thinking pasta.
Hockey championship belt in box, brand new, never opened, tape still on the sides. No way, Jose Estrada. Weep not for me or them. Do not weep. We're gonna take a peek behind the curtain. I work without a net. Can you all, in fact, get funky? It's the 1977 Mego Sarge doll. Dare I use the word amazed? Pelvic thrust onto the shelf thrift store guy. And I lost the damn Vermont deal.
Police are still looking for the suspects, a woman described as about 35 feet tall.
Oat beverage. Take a walk. You know you're scraping the bottom of the barrel of the camera roll when you notice your girlfriend cutting cheese during dinner last night and one of the cheese remained standing.
What if those people were there and they were trapped?
Nobody brake checks someone for doing nothing. Always remember that when you're watching those videos.
Something Russia's famous for, Bob.
Russians.
Stick a fork in them. There are several ladies. Oops, what do we got here? A little piece of something or other? Okay.
You know who knows? Call her up. Stephanie Hupp. 402-476-2200, extension 15. That's the best attorney you have in this town.
And utter nonsense that will take you to a magical place that English words cannot describe.
Mary Christmas.
Folks, did I just hit record and come out with that? You're goddamn right I did.
I got a brand new pair of roller skates. You got a brand new key.
So lucky number 13. Okay, and you're watching this, so of course you're happy. Rugged Brett Clark. 3 seconds video wipeout in first 10 minutes of movie. How about slugs? Because it's Swayze dancing.
Because you can't put crappy material in the concrete.
And on the Run by, I almost said Walter Payton. I literally almost said Band on the Run by Walter Payton. Avoiding roofing disasters.
Once it's turned on, the sign will spell out Deli Cat Essen.
I know that you're aware of how much that I fight for you, the viewer. Exactly how many questions can you come up with regarding bass? Ray goes commando. I don't think it's really something they want to know about.
Ray, you're out of order.
Will a man of my stature label his own brand of comedy? Could he be that full of himself where he has the audacity to tell you how he sees his own brilliance?
September.
Clothesline City, he nailed him. For a 1977 handcuffs, gun, and badge. It's over! It's over! Vern, that was the commercial you sent me. What the hell is this guy going on about? He eats things that would make a billy goat puke.
AIDS may taste like a candy, but AIDS contains one of the most effective appetite suppressants you can buy.
The nourishment of the process has completed me this week.
Hey, it is Monty Durham with Say Yes to the Dress Atlanta, and I am so excited to wish you both a very, very, very happy anniversary. Anyway, I wanted to wish you both a very, very happy anniversary, many more years to come, and here's to a lifetime of love, happiness, and adventure. Happy anniversary.
Friends, when it comes to trusted news, there are only a select few at the top. One, of course, is Colin from Canada's Good Junk. But perhaps the BBC, the British Broadcasting Corporation, is a upper echelon member of the trusted news community. And would they ever do anything wrong? Folks, I don't think so, but they did. In this week's hard-hitting news clip, a bit of a description needs to be made before I roll the clip. It is absolutely genius, and the type of clips that you pray for here at Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's Good Junk 20th Anniversary Extravaganza Spectacular. Let me continue. The gentleman's name was Guy Coma, and the only reason he was at the BBC that day was to interview for a job. He was applying to work for the BBC. And in quite possibly the greatest case of mistaken identity, he was put live on the air, and the interviewer presenter had no idea she was talking to the wrong person. But Guy Coma, he comes correct. He plays along, and let me tell you something, I couldn't tell the difference. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor and privilege to introduce an internet legend that will live forever. He didn't get the job at the BBC, but he did steal our hearts. It's Guy Coma.
Done something that is very good.
He was murdered,
but now he's dead.
Reach out to the man who died.
To the man.
Your mama, she's for free and everybody knows it.
Very much indeed. Yes, that ongoing row between Apple Computer, the company behind the iPod, and Apple Corps, the Beatles record label, has just been resolved, or at least a verdict has been given. It all centered on the Apple logo, which both companies use. Now, the businesses reached a deal in 1991 whereby Apple Computers was allowed to use the trademark as long as it didn't enter the music business. But then it launched iTunes, the online music store, which is when the row started. Well, the judge in the case, as we've heard, has just ruled in favor of Apple Corps, that's the record label. So what does this all mean for the industry and the growth of music online? Well, Guy Cuny is the editor of the technology website News Wireless. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Were you surprised by this verdict today?
I'm very surprised to see this verdict to come on me, because I was not expecting that. When I came, they told me something else, and I'm coming. You got an interview there, so it's a big surprise anyway.
A big surprise.
Exactly.
Yes, yeah. With regards to the cost that's involved, do you think now more people will be downloading online?
Actually, if you can go everywhere, you're gonna see a lot of people downloading to the internet and the website, everything they want. But I think it's much better for the development and to improve people what they want and to get on the easy way and so fast the things they're looking for.
This does really seem to be the way the music industry is progressing now, that people want to go onto the website and download music.
Exactly. You can go everywhere on the cyber cafe and you can check. You can go easy. It's going to be a very easy way for everyone to get something to the internet.
Cuny, thanks very much indeed. I think we can now also speak.
Friends, I didn't mention this in the introduction to Thrift Store Pickups, so let's mention it during the introduction to John Riddell, Living Legend. When I was in the thrift store this week, I was going through the CDs and I was really jazzed that I found the Dennis Coffey CD. And there was a woman next to me who happened to notice that I was excited and began to talk to me. She's in her mid-50s and began to talk incessantly, and you'd think my ear was actually taken off by how much she had talked to me. She talked my ear off. Anyhoot, she delved into the wonderful world of wicker and wicker baskets, and how people shouldn't give up on wicker or throw out wicker, because wicker lasts forever. And it was the most amount of thought I've ever put into wicker. But that woman really loved wicker. And I wanted you guys to know that. It's time for John Riddell, living legend.
How much is in butter? How much is in butter? How much is in butter?
In the hustle and bustle to get the Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's Good Junk 20th Anniversary Extravaganza Spectacular together, I may have turned two blind eyes to the segment that needs my most attention. That needs my attention the most. That's better. It's the camera roll, and I haven't even looked to see if I have one photo, let alone 5. However, I am introducing the segment, so I guess I found 5 photos. Let's go ahead and look to see if I, in fact, did find 5 photos. Dry cleaning movies, mushrooms on toast. Just a couple of horses' asses. Electric pressure cooker, urinating. Passion fruit chest cake, Charles Barkley. Friends, we made it. It is time for Let's Go Through My Camera Roll. Now, I have relaxed the rules and regulations when it comes to Let's Go Through My Camera Roll, and we are bleeding in, that's a new thing I've been saying, bleeding into not just Let's Go Through My Camera Roll, but let's go through pictures that were on my hard drive. So, let's go through my camera roll / hard drive, because if it's just the camera roll, you can only go through so much. So you'll still enjoy these pictures because there's interest in some of them, and I will say some blurbs about some other ones. Let's get started. Do I have to turn? No, I don't have to turn, not yet. Photo number 1, incense. I believe became popular in the 70s. I could be flailing in the wind here. I don't really know, but when you look at stuff like that, like I know you use attractive women to sell. I fully understand the idea of using attractive women to sell products, but incense? It always baffled me. But hell, guys used to drive around with shirtless men on the sides of their van fighting off lions with swords. What do I know? Photo number 2, bit of a somber tone now. This is my my buddy, my pal, my short-lived friend. Yes, that's right, he has passed away. That's my hamster who I named Rod Serling. I believe he committed suicide because he went on his wheel in the other room, and I kept hearing the wheel and hearing the wheel and hearing the wheel, and then when I returned, he was in the wheel, not moving. That's Rod Serling. Let's take a moment, guys. Thank you. Photo number 3, just me taking a photo underneath a sign that says meat snacks. Because really, you can't go wrong with meat snacks, and the fact that they made a sign for it, even better. Meat snacks. Let's double back here. When it comes to meat snacks, you're looking at pepperettes, pepperoni sticks. I don't need them soft, okay? Guys, are you with me? Are you at the local flea market where there's a guy that could possibly pass for a 100-year-old man, will not speak English, but makes the best pepperoni sticks? And what are they? They're goddamn hard as a rock, and they're delicious. Don't come at me with soft meat. That'll be the name of the episode, okay? It's pepperettes, but they gotta be tough, like, you know. Okay, photo number 4, bam. You know what this is? We covered this a couple of weeks ago. This is Westdale Mall's push handles on the pull doors. Well, right now, as of June 9th, that one is out of order. So if you are traveling from near and far to visit the mall that I have told you about and that has danced in your mind, and you've wondered just how great it is, and you've decided to come visit, let it be known that that door is out of order as of June 9th. Because we're pulling on the push, okay? We're pulling on the push. Photo number 5, let's finish it off. This is from a fish aquarium pet store that we have in Canada. I don't think let me just start that again. Before I put up photo number 5, let me do a brief introduction. This is a chain of aquarium fish pet stores. They sell fish and they sell aquariums. They're called Big Al's, and they are a chain in Canada. I don't believe that they are in America. And before I put it up, let me tell you that if you go there Tuesday at 7 p.m., bring the family, bring the young ones, and you can watch a live shark feeding. I will repeat that. Tuesday, every Tuesday, 7 p.m. at any one of the Big Al locations, quite possibly just this one, a shark feeding. Food, beverages will not be provided. Guys, that was the Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's Good Junk 20th Anniversary Extravaganza Spectacular. Let's go through my camera roll and final segment that I have filmed for the day. Folks, it's a wrap. But you're going to see more stuff because that's how the order of the show goes.
Hey, Kimberlyn Brown here. Wanted me to reach out and say happy anniversary. That is absolutely amazing. You should be very, very proud of yourself. You know, it's always about the choices we make in life, right? And the choice that you made was phenomenal. And your family recognizes that. And they are so proud of you. And I wouldn't be surprised if some loved ones up there kind of nudged you along the way. So, have a wonderful anniversary.
Lester, I'm beginning to introduce Ray's segment the same each week, but I can't help but focus in on this mysterious letter. Was it sent or was it not? I think we're beginning to get to the bottom of it, but at the same time, things could get a little heated. Let's tune in.
Raymond Lyman, ridiculous. You calling me a liar? Well, I ain't gonna think about suing the city. Raymond Lyman, ridiculous. You calling me a liar? Well, I ain't gonna think about suing the city.
Well, she does all the typing. Mrs. Garvey, did you type a letter to Mr. Lyman?
No, I didn't, and I don't believe Neil or Sue did either.
Well, I'll bring it down and I'll just show
You bring it, and we will prosecute the offenders to the
I'll bring
fullest.
it down, and my lawyer will bring it down.
Would you be willing to give a handwriting sample?
Hey, I'll write my name right now.
When you bring the letter?
I'll bring the letter because I didn't sign it.
Didn't say you did.
And I'm not lying.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I gave a pensive look, could you tell by looking at me that I have no clue at all what I'm about to present in the Deep Cut Deep Dive? Could you tell? Or was I masking it with my pensive look? Lester didn't know what clips to take from the Deep Cut Deep Dive, so instead Colin from Canada is singing over this bumper. I assure you, this is real. Friends, I mentioned it in the thrift store pickup segment. Dennis Coffey, the artist who worked on the soundtrack for Black Belt Jones. And I thought to myself, why don't we just cover Black Belt Jones in this week's Deep Cut Deep Dive? So we shall. May I begin. As a youth, as much of you guys know, you had the sleepovers with your best buddies, and you had the pop and the chips and the video games, and you rented a movie, or you rented a video game, or you rented both. And that is where I first saw It Came from Hollywood. We covered that previously in a Deep Cut Deep Dive. And for those who didn't see that, that's okay. It Came From Hollywood is a movie about bad movies and shows clip after clip after clip of really bad B movies. And one of those movies on there was Black Belt Jones. And to say I was taken aback would be an understatement. It was like the first time you saw wrestling. Honestly. They showed the trailer for Black Belt Jones in the movie It Came From Hollywood, and the trailer alone, which I will include in the description along with the theme song, it doesn't get any cooler than that. The guy, Black Belt Jim Kelly, has an afro and oh my God, he was the coolest. My buddy Ben, who I rented movies with, and I was staying at his house when we watched It Came From Hollywood, and we saw Black Belt Jones trailer for the first time. He didn't realize that Black Belt Jones was available at the video store that we rented movies from, because we were always in the horror section, and Black Belt Jones is an action movie. So we rented Black Belt Jones, and let me tell you, the trailer did live up to the hype, okay? Let's get to it. 1974, Black Belt Jones, starring Jim Kelly, Gloria Hendry, and Scatman Crothers, is a kung fu blaxploitation film. The owner of the karate school is forced to sell by the mafia and ends up dying in the process. And his daughter wants revenge on the mafia, and they want the karate school back. So the students from the karate school get Black Belt Jones on the case, and they do battle with the mafia to try to get the karate school back. That is basically the story, and it's all you really need to know, because it's all about the music and the action and Jim Kelly's afro. The movie is available to buy or rent on Apple TV as well as Prime, I believe. But as you know, Colin will always offer these movies to you, the viewer. If you really, really, really want to see them and don't want to pay, I will send them to you. Throw it up there. Let's get the anniversary thing out of the way. And there's the email. Guys, it's the music, the action, his afro, the acting, the humor. It's what you would think if you said blaxploitation kung fu movie. It's everything, guys.
Congratulations and happy anniversary. I'm wishing you an amazing anniversary from your girl, Farrah Abraham. And I hope that you guys have an amazing time. Happy anniversary. It's a big accomplishment. Gotta accomplish that myself.
It's not left. It's a little bit to the right, but not the whole way. Looking this way. Lester, what you say? What you say is it's time for montage number 2 for those speaking Spanish. Montage dos. This will be covering episodes 14, 15, and 16, all the great highlights from those episodes, in a small, perhaps longer than you need package called a montage. The caffeine in this coffee had the power to make livestock build, finance, and oversee the business runnings of their own amusement park. They have a character named Lou Zealand, and all he does is throw fish. Or what I have coined, dramatic comedy. Folks, I don't know how much caffeine was in that coffee, but mother of God, I am cooking. I am getting my foot wedged on the chair here. Sorry. Yeah, the caffeine is rolling. I'm going to stop saying that, but it's Lethal Games with Frank Stallone. That's Brenda. With Frank Stallone.
I was supposed to give Roger Feigard some panties.
But I have had some coffee. Can you tell? I have a thread on my arm. Not like David Hasselhoff isn't the greatest. Dare I say a comedy god? I just did. Friends, do you want to know what the worst thing to happen to the news was in the past 30 years? The internet. Hell, the truth. The internet.
Earthquake! Run for your lives!
And this gentleman had one hell of a hairy body, so I think you'll agree that it looks like the captain from the Beatles' Yellow Submarine.
They don't know what the hell they're doing.
Something normally worn only by children. Michael.
Clothes.
right in the external occipital protuberance. Bob and Doug McKenzie, respectively.
Call me right now, I'll give you my private number.
You call that number and you'll hear a recording, and I'll give you my personal number if you call that.
Pierre going to the theater, and I would have to reply to her in French, what is he doing? And I said, yeah, that's Pierre, he's going to the movies. Got a 0. Alert your place of employment and let the man in charge of whoever needs to know this information going forward. You would like May 1st off for a private celebration of the fact that Colin from Canada obtained Return to the 36 Chambers by the Old Dirty Bastard on compact disc. So it will never be perfect. That was real. Lester, it's just episode 15. There's nothing special about it. It's just episode 15. Come on in, the water's warm, as they say, as no one really says anymore. You are tuned in to the single greatest, whatever you would call this on YouTube, that I am, you know, it is a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure for you guys to be here. Your pleasure is my pleasure. Let's stop saying pleasure. Irregardless, which isn't a word, I will press forward, move forward, push forward. For the ladies watching, I'm not single, I'm taken, I'm sorry. I'm an adult. I know how things work. It's Art Garfunkel. You know him, you love him.
I made a lot of money in a book. And guess what? My dad called it dental floss. And
the moment in time where my sweetheart returned to the store shelves and I knew everything was going to be okay.
The reason why I wasn't coming to these meetings was because I got a letter from City Council.
Name something you feel before you buy it. Excited.
Will you be serious? Let me just stop myself right now and talk to you, the viewer, directly. Forget about friends, ladies, gentlemen, folks, guys, gals, friends, heroes, legends. This is the hero. You're the legends. Maybe I don't need a sponsor, okay?
Hello?
Jim, it's Susie. Our house is on fire. Can you come over?
Of course. I'm on my way.
Lester, how was your weekend? That's great. A loss to you, but more of a loss to my heart that I didn't film this gentleman. Still a special place on my heart that says, be kind, rewind, if you know what I'm saying. If that description doesn't aptly make him an expert, this photo should. Into this great creation that came out of this cranium. Being cognizant.
now remember, I have 6 butts, not 6 boobs.
And she looked at me and said, why don't you just grab some crap from your house? I have to get my appointments and my business associates and all my stuff together in one comprehensive book so I remember what is happening tomorrow, because today nothing might have happened. Picking up more blaxploitation films and whether or not the format I have is superior to the one I'm holding in my hand at the thrift store. Ladies, they love that. Excuse me, do you have the Passion of the Christ on the David or the cassette? How do you look at that and not buy that? Listen carefully, you can hear the Niagara Falls-like waterfall sound effect in the background. Shall we take a listen? Greatness has to be brought to my people. I don't even know if that's a song. The key to my heart. I don't know. Can I let you know that I assure you, this is all real. Delving into the unknown by opening their eyes and entering my mouth and listening for the verbal poo-poo that spews out onto them.
I'll bring it next week.
I want a copy of the letter.
Because I got it with my letter from my lawyer.
Did you let you know that the caffeine has been creeping in? This is day 3 of filming. I've only had maybe that much of this coffee, but I can feel the caffeine. Can you see the caffeine? Yes, you can.
A barbecue and a new car.
Perhaps I can drop some knowledge on yo ass, as well as the Abdullah the Butcher Legends of Professional Wrestling Series 2 figure Blood variant. When you're at the level of fame that resides in this room,
You can have what you want. You can do it.
Happy anniversary! What's up? It's Rutledge Wood. Oh, and Adam's here, and Tanner. He's little, so he's harder to see. But wanted to say happy anniversary. Congrats on your anniversary. That's amazing. I hope you'll have such a wonderful day, a great weekend, and an even better year. Here's to you guys.
Friends, when it comes to the joy of viewing a game show, two things will enter our hearts and live forever. One, the ability and knowledge that some of these contestants possess and show, and the absolute ineptitude of their knowledge of nothing, including common sense. In there lies something. What is that something? This week's clip of the week.
When things aren't going my way,
I'm thinking pasta.
2,500.
Here's the VHS collection.
Your Construction Safety Association.
And she's showing no signs of slowing down.
Where's the pole?
And we might have hit a snag.
Where's the pole?
Anyone here seen a pole? What pole? While Ariel keeps looking for that pole, let's take a break. When we come back, more contestants take on the qualifier.
Where's the pole?
Now, before the break, Alaska's own Ariel Tweeto was searching for a 30-foot pole.
Where's the pole?
It's right in front of her. Let's see how she does. That was it. Oh, dear.
Doggy paddle!
Friends, Gorilla Monsoon. Every week I have to think of something to say here, and this is what I've come up with this week. For those wrestling fans watching the Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's Good Junk 20th Anniversary Extravaganza Spectacular, I'm sure you will remember the Red Rooster. Yes, Terry Taylor as the Red Rooster and his unforgettable feud with the Brooklyn Brawler, Steve Lombardi. Guys, do you remember when the Brooklyn Brawler Pearl Harbor jobbed Gorilla Monsoon on Primetime Wrestling?
Why are you doing that? I'm doing nothing. Why would you do that?
That was pretty awesome.
Did you see that?
Couldn't see it from our vantage point.
Will you stop? All kinds of pandemonium broken loose here.
The greatest professional athlete in the world today.
This is an anniversary shout out. So, congratulations on your anniversary. Best part of all this is that you guys grew up watching wrestling and continue to be wrestling fans.
Friends, what better way to celebrate Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's Good Junk 20th Anniversary Extravaganza Spectacular than a show and tell battle to the wire between Jerry Lawler and Andy Kaufman in a handicap match against the genius, not Lanny Poffo, Albert Einstein. Guys, I have a new challenger. I'm gonna tell you what the votes are like. But first, you know what we gotta do. Lester, do your magic fingers touching for, roll the bumper, but we gotta, Delta Force Pizza. Delta Force Pizza. Friends, when we turn to the left, you know it's the thrift store pickups. But when we turn to the right, you know it's the weekly show and tell poll. Guys, let's go to the current standings. As of Thursday, June 19th, 2:04 p.m., we are deadlocked in a battle to the death. Handicap match rules apply, which means there are no rules. Guys, the votes are 4 apiece between Jerry Lawler and Andy Kaufman taking on the one, the only, Albert, don't tell me to comb my hair, Einstein. We're tied, guys. And we need a winner, because the winner goes against the challenger below. So hopefully by the time this episode is posted, I'm aiming for Saturday, We will have a clear-cut winner and a new poll to put up as the winner of that match takes on a new tag team. This is one of the newest figures that I have. Roddy Piper and Mr. T Elite Collection. This, of course, is, that glare is amazing. This, of course, is Mr. T and Roddy Piper portraying their WrestleMania 2 boxing match, which upon rewatching is a little rough. And judging by the end of the match, Roddy Piper has claimed that the end of the match was a shoot, and he was that mad at Mr. T that he, not attacked him, but he body slammed him, and he legit threw a stool at him if you watch the end of that match. So Piper and Mr. T never got along at all. Apparently, Mr. T was a bit of a diva. Also, Piper is old school, and someone outside is coming inside into the world that he loves. You know what I'm saying? Anywho's, Roddy Piper and Mr. T Elite Collection. We have the Mr. T boxing robe, the Hot Rod boxing robe. Boxing gloves can come off and you can put your hands back on. That's kind of cool. Speaking of robes. Anyways, guys, you got to keep voting because I need a winner. As I'm saying that, I'm realizing when this video is posted, I already have the new poll up. So me telling you to vote on this old one is impossible. But vote on this one. Guys, it could be a handicap match. It's Mr. T and Roddy Piper. They could be taking on Albert Einstein, or they could be taking on the likes of Jerry the King Lawler and Andy Kaufman. Either match I would pay good money to see as long as the popcorn was reasonably priced. It's the 20th anniversary and I'm enjoying myself. Are you?
We don't need assistance. I've got him in my sights.
Friends, the professionalism that has been seen today by the likes of Lester and myself result in limited bloopers this week because Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's Good Junk 20th Anniversary Extravaganza Spectacular is limited in the errors and blunders that result in bloopers. However, I believe there are some, and we're gonna play them right now. What am I doing? Gotta stop saying, What can I tell you? Try again, son. What am I, deep in thought up in here? That's here nor there. You are actually laughing. I have to say it, I don't, but I will. Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada 20th, nope, yeah, let's keep it and bounce around. Colin from Canada's good, no, we're off. Top notch. Do I have to say it? I don't, but I will. Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's 20th anniversary. Nope. I'm not ready yet. Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's 20th anniversary. Nope, you didn't say it, Colin. Look at the size of my face. Canada's Good Junk 20th Anniversary Extravaganza Spectacular. Saba? Sibi? I'm just gonna sit here and sing a song that doesn't exist because I have limited bloopers.
We are apprised of the situation and are taking appropriate measures.
Friends, for the third and final time, I will delicately tilt my chair this way and look a friend in the eye and see the passion glowing back at me, shooting directly at me, much like Paul Stanley in Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park. Star Child!
Star Child!
Guys, it's time for the final installment of the montage. This will cover episodes 17, 18, and 19. I would personally like to thank my producer Lester for putting all three of these packages together. I hope you enjoy what we call a montage. The lights are bright and they are shining down on him. Him is, of course, me, and me is I. Who is I? Colin from Canada, and this is Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's Good Junk, episode 17. He's dotted the T's and crossed the I's. Hello, friends. We're starting to film what this will become. Let's keep it. I am the judge, jury, and executioner of dramatic comedy. What are people doing with these tapes? What are they, leaving them on the sun or something? Still going strong. Shame on you. You had me at Farrah Fawcett and the burning bed.
You can't possibly be as offended as I am, all right?
Here he is, having the time of his life.
While doors were closing and opening, Retro Ray over at Retro Rays.
What is this cop doing here?
Give me all your money.
A group of pill pushers?
Miscarriage of justice. It's the crocodile hunter, crikey, I talk, squeeze my belly, I say 12 croc phrases. I am not on fire today. Volume, probably a little too loud. Closing another chapter in the long history, and you know what I'm trying to say. If you are hearing this with your ears and seeing this with your eyes, he's a big fan of the program. Let's be honest, as he should be, because it's hilarious. The AmCan Connection, America, Canada, and of course our slogan, are you sick of this friendship yet? It's okay, I remembered this week all by myself. Caffeine may be an issue early, folks. The production levels, Lester, are constantly rising. Thought I had to belch there, but I did not. It's past. Gorath.
You had a hard time with me saying shit kickers. Now I'm not gonna cuss today.
Miami Vice the game.
Found out she no longer had a belly button.
Ask him how much the unsalted butter is. What better way to reflect the people and places and things and events and sights and sounds of the Niagara Falls Comic-Con like a leaf filter gutter protection booth. Per tradition, when the AmCan Connection gets together either south or north of the border and we are dining at any of the fine establishments that we dine at, it is of course always Liam's birthday. Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? We got some work to do now. Am I right, Lester?
On city council letterhead?
In walks Ralph Furley.
May I have an S?
Jerry, I'm sorry, there is no S.
It's a happening. Jerry the King Lawler versus one of my heroes, Andy Kaufman. This will all sound very Guys, it's time for the bloopers. Because this, my friends, is a man reflecting a man who is lost. Folks, if I listen closely, I can hear you.
Boots and pants and boots and pants.
I mean, the pomp and circumstance of that would just be too much. It is me, as Jason Nutt puts it, C from C. That, of course, means Colin from Canada, and that, of course, means Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's Good Junk, episode number 19, aka 19. Tell your neighbors, tell the pharmacist, tell the bereavement counselor. I'm making things up as I talk here. Welcome into my little world. Yep. I am torn both emotionally, physically, just that. She had a bit of the case of the swear words.
I did not get paid for that. I don't like a drunk.
Let us begin. There's ladies in the room. You might get a little hot and bothered when I start telling you about whether or not I want the actual DVDs or if I just download the video files and burn them to a blank DVD.
Captain Sum Ting Wong, Wee Tu Lo, Ho Li Fook, and Bang Ding Ao.
Hat backwards. Yeah, buddy. This is a flattering shot of my carcass. Had my girlfriend have caught the ball, I would have gone absolutely berserk.
I also showed it to my friend Dave, the state trooper. He thinks it's kind of suspicious.
Yes.
Felipe Gomez. Just trying to get behind it. Yeah, there it is. That is Colin from Canada with a lovely head of hair that soon disappeared 30 years later. Thanking the man upstairs. Caffeine has been taken orally. The Albert Einstein action figure. I feel the spotlight of hilarity shines into my eyes, stunning me. You start strong, and then you fade, Colin. At times, this is a trying period in the episode. Hark! Do I hear the violins in the distance?
A chalice or goblet.
What happened, Daddy?
Debuting on Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's Good Junk 20th Anniversary Extravaganza Spectacular episode is the newest segment to join our family. Guys, I have collections that will fall in the segment categories that we already have present here on the show. Show and tell, VHS, thrift store. But there are certain things that really don't fall into those categories. But nevertheless, a lot of gas today. I've been drinking all these beverages. Pardon me, pushing forward, continuing. We talked about it last week, guys. It's the new segment, Men's Toes. Lester, roll the bumper. Let's get to it, buddy. Friends, let me explain a bit more what the hell I'm talking about when I say a segment called Men's Toes. We talked about it in Webster with Emmanuel Lewis. Should I throw up the photo? Is it there? I don't know. Maybe. He was trying to refer to the word mementos, but he said he had a collection of men's toes. And these are items that are, you want to keep, they're special to you, they mean something. Love letters, photographs, you know what I'm saying. You want to keep those. And this is definitely some items you want to keep when you're a 12 and 13-year-old idiot. So let's get to it. There was a oldies station in the Greater Toronto area called 1050 Chum on your AM dial. And it played all the oldies, and like most radio stations, they had contests that you could win, and you could become a member of the Frequent Listener Club. Now, when you say that you can phone a toll-free number and become a member of the 1050 Chum Oldies Frequent Listener Club, and all of this is free, and you're a 12-year-old, you're going to call that number several times and sign up several times. And each time you signed up, they sent you a card. Then you developed a large collection of cards. There's 20 in my hand, folks. And the sad thing is, I know there's more. So, for this episode, we're going to do the first 20 that I found. I know there's others, but let's get right into it. The card will be thrown up here, but I'm going to read them down here, if I may. These are actual names that my friend and I had to say over the phone, and that person had to punch it into the computer and send it to us. Abe Vigoda. These are actors or perhaps baseball players from the 70s or just people we made up. Cy Milo. Bob Belt. Bud Colt. Pierce Trout. Mike Hunt. Buck Dent. Buck Trunk. Noah Guff. Johnny Grubb. Joe Moss. Ed T. Shadow Kemerkity. That was the name of my buddy's cat, Shadow. Shadow Kemerkity. Tim Post. Deutsch Hess was the name of a preliminary wrestler I saw on a wrestling VHS one time. Jim Delt. Ruben Vizzi and Dave Vizzi. Those were two guys I went to elementary school with. And to finish it off, my two favorite, first name Dit, D-I-T, Palnanamalin Acoustic. And the greatest name that we convinced someone that our name was Manure Pile. We said our name was Manuaire Peel, okay? That's 20. That's the first edition of Colin from Canada Presents Men's Toes. This could go on to episode 21, and I hope it does.
You must be in a hell of a hurry, huh, Sheriff?
Friends, it's almost the perfect storm, but not in a negative sense. The perfect storm of joy. I once said that tears will never fall on this show, but I think you know what I'm about to get into, but I don't think you know the outcome. It is the words just, it's a little harder this week. The words, they're there, but they're jumbled because it's so much positivity. And during this moment, only negative words were ever used. So to speak positively at this moment in the show is so foreign to me that the words are almost not English, but yet they dance in my head, bringing my brain joy and a smile across my face. Tears of joy, although not there, should be there, because they're still here. Guys, they're still here. For Colin from Canada Presents Colin from Canada's Good Junk 20th Anniversary Extravaganza Spectacular. Folks, I can't even get through it. They didn't leave. They're still here. I said I wouldn't. Guys, the sponsor remains. The sponsor remains. The public service announcement, they're still here. They're still here. Lester, just please. Please, Lester. Not the horn. Play the sponsor.
You ever had India food?
Will you please stop?
Catch it.
The Empire of Taste. Will you please stop?
Catch it.
May I have a word with you over here, please, madam? Is this all your baggage, madam?
The outcome of a sentimental impulse could mean a sentence of death for the animal you love and couldn't leave behind, and for you or someone like you, death in a manner that is beyond description. Whichever way you look at it, rabies means death.
Friends, the crown has remained atop my cranium for the duration of the entire episode of Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's Good Junk 20th Anniversary Extravaganza Spectacular. And now it is time to dim the lights. I can't do that. Guys, it's the goodbyes, and it is the thank yous as well. Goodbye for now. And thank you for 20 wonderful episodes that you've been with this blithering idiot in his place of employment, if you could call it that. I am a babysitter of poker morons, as you know, as well as a property manager. And when one of the managers of one of the tenants arrives at their place of business and I have to go out and tell them that there's going to be a mason guy coming to parge the walls and redo the structural integrity of the building, I forgot to take off my crown when talking to him about that. Guys, that has nothing to do with the goodbyes or the thank yous. Let's push forward. Thank you, everybody. You know who you are. If you don't, comment if you do. As long as you're viewing, I love you. I'm a poet, but don't know it. I stole that from Pee Wee Herman. That's circa 1989, possibly 88. Guys, did you enjoy that? I say it every week, but I'm almost certain that we have way surpassed the length of regular duration of episode timing here on Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's Good Junk 20th Anniversary Extravaganza Spectacular. I think we've gone well over an hour. The crown didn't fall. Thank you, guys. I sit here sometimes, in all honesty, and like I look at this and think, what on earth are you doing? On occasion, I will text my tag team partner over at and I will say, am I an idiot or is this something? And he will always say, yes, Colin, you're not an idiot, it's something, trust me. So, again, thank you to my tag team partner, because again, without him, none of this would be possible. He is now yelling at the screen. I got you, buddy. Yeah, we're done. Guys, the pepperettes are a firm $12. There's no haggling. No. Die Paperette seinen Steifig $12 ein Aufdinger.
The recognized symbol of excellence in
dramatic comedy.